Hey, this is Adam with the Cleveland Bonsai Club, back with an update on this nursery stock spruce. It's been about a year and a half, so I think we're long overdue for some more work and a little progress video. Um, the initial styling on this was done in March of 2020, which is about uh, 18 months ago. It is now September of 2021. So you can tell it was repotted. I did that the spring of 2021. Um, Surprisingly got it into a pretty small pot, um, set at an angle to take advantage of this large kind of curving surface root that was coming off. See, we angled it slightly, and it recovered just fine from the repot. It's been growing. The only thing I've done in preparation for this video is yesterday I went through and pruned out multiple junctions where there was more than two branches, thinned things out. I cut anything that was on the inside of a curve, removed that. I did leave some, let me come in here. I did leave some shorter stuff that was coming out of the trunk next to, an existing branch, because when this gets styled today, I don't know if I'm gonna need to eliminate the longer branches, because the my strategy or my design concept at this point is going to be to elongate on this left side and shorten on the right side. So some of those branches may just be too long for the design, in which case I'll remove them and let these new buds that started take over and grow out as branches for that side of the tree. But I'll give a little rotation, give you a good look. I had to add some props to support this when I strapped it into the pot. But while that root ball develops, it's being held in there nice and steady. It's actually a pot that I made that I thought fit pretty well. That's about where my front is currently. So the plan for today is I'm going to go through and I'm going to try to do it without moving any branches, but I'm going to completely wire out all these secondary branches, and then I will film placing those branches and putting this thing into shape, and we'll see what we can get out of it. So when I come back, this tree will be all wired out and ready to style. Okay, so we're back. Got the tree wired out. Tried not to move any branches, so it's pretty much how we last saw it. I did want to show, this is how much I removed when I did the cleaning out and reduction to junctions of 2. So now it's time to give this tree some style. I'm going to do my best to work around the camera so that the camera can stay sort of bird's eye view of if you were working on this. And I don't know how long this will take. I may speed it up, but we'll find out. So I'm going to start at the tip. Basically so it's going to define our length and our shape. It's looking a little too dense in this area, so I've been trying to decide. I'm either going to remove this branch that goes straight out off the main line, or this one that comes off the bottom and swoops down. They're both plenty vigorous. So either one can take over and continue to ramify and extend. And we'll come back. Let's see how the rest of this fills in. Gonna add a piece of wire so I can control these a little better. I left a lot of stuff on, some stuff that you didn't know if it was going to be sticking up or down, or if it was going to be rotated and used on the side. So as I'm cutting things out, let me see if I can get in there and show exactly what that is. Yeah, that's good. So looking at this branch here, comes off the main trunk right there. There's some new vertical growth sticking up here, which I'm okay with for now, because that would just leave a lot of naked branch. And we always want to have options for the future when this is developed. So the main branch comes like this, bends down a little bit, curves back up to being level. I'm looking at this piece and this piece at the bottom, and they're just basically presenting a very cluttered, round pad. If I remove them, and this one also off the bottom, sticking out the back. Now I don't have all the tertiary stuff wired, so I can't make this real flat, but we can end up with a fairly flat pad, which is what we want with I don't know, a little bit. I probably need to get vertical to show this. Let's try that. There. Triangular or kind of diamond shaped from the top, and fairly flat from the side with some movement up and down. So this is another area where I left a lot of stuff on the tree. There's a lot of all these. It's really hard to see. Let me try to zoom. Yeah. So all of growth like this one, this guy back here, these two here, this here, not that one, this one, and there's another one kind of underneath. These are all buds that popped off the trunk, so it's new growth, and it's coming off the trunk, and I've left a lot of that there. It's very cluttered looking right now, but because I want to shorten, because I want to compress the right side and let the length move to the left, I left them because I might just completely remove some of these larger branches and let a couple of these little guys take over and become shorter branching on this right side to give me that compression and elongation on the left. So it looks cluttered, and I'm just working on stretching some of these long ones out, spreading them out, and seeing what kind of position I can create with them, and seeing whether we want to keep them or not. I'm definitely thinking this one here is just, it's long. Well, why don't we try, we can try reducing its length first before getting rid of it completely. So I'll cut it back to a point where there's growth that can take over. Let's get rid of this piece of wire. I think I might want to try reducing this one too. I'm cutting these back places where I already have new growth. It's like there's a, let's go back in. There's a bud that popped this spring and grew out with a new bud on it. That could be the new leader off of this branch. There's also a longer one coming off the bottom, as well as two coming off the sides. So you can cut back to ramification you already have and still have a healthy, viable branch that is shorter. Let's get rid of this wire so that can come out. I do have, no, that's okay. All right, let's keep going.
This branch. Let's drop this one first. Shorten it out just a touch. Well, just looking at it from here.
I don't like how this one branch down the bottom comes down so low. It's drawing the weight in your eye down to this corner when we want the visual direction to be taking us to the tips off to the left. So that branch is gonna go. Just cut the wire. Let's take this out and shorten it as well. Okay. I like where we're going. Got a big dead space right here, which we're gonna change this apex just a little. Gonna bring this one down, and this one up.
Actually, I might have had this. Definitely gonna shorten this back. Okay. And I'm going to clean up a few of these buds coming off the trunk. But I do want to keep some. They may eventually take over as our right side branches. They just need to be in the right place. And
All right, that's pretty good for now, I think. All right, let's come back to our left side. See what kind of cleanup we can do. Still got a decision to make on this tip here. Whether we keep this branch or the one at the bottom. Let's see which one has the nicest structure. I want the length of this one. It's a little bit longer than this one, but I like the taper change as we're going from our main branch to our secondary branch on the bottom. But this one's a little healthier. It's got a lot more buds along these, so we're gonna end up with that, I think. Just give it some movement. Bring this down, fill in. All right, clean up some of this wire.
and we're done.
And sometimes it's not a bad idea to leave some excess wire kind of looped around the end, because as these tips extend, you can straighten that out a little and add some control to those tips without having to rewire the tree.
Yeah. All right, I think that's it. Oh, now I found one more I can do. Get this straightened out. Okay, I left a lot of. Let me get back zoomed in here.
Left a lot of back budding on here. I'll show you. So both this piece and this piece are growing off the top of the branch, which ordinarily traditional bonsai rules, quote unquote rules, would say to remove that. But with elongating species, I like to leave some of that because eventually this branch is going to grow out. These will keep extending. Old needles will fall off. You'll end up with a 6-inch long branch that's just completely naked and then growth out of the tip. If you maintain a few growing off the top, eventually as all of this expands, elongates, bifurcates, this growth up here can develop its own pads, and eventually you can cut that other one off and come back to a ramified pad and maintain your proportions and your design. So that's one of my little strategies when working with spruce. Okay, that's why it looks a bit messy still. But it's still early, it's still young, it's in development, so we don't have to have it cleaned up perfectly. All right, I'm gonna get this on the turntable and we'll get a nice look. Okay, here's our finished project for the moment. Give it a spin. All right, that's it for now. We'll see how this develops. And like I've said, the goal is to let the left side elongate a bit, compress the right side, and we'll see how it goes. See you next time.